I take this opportunity to just welcome you back to Frockel Show. And in Frockel Show, we promised that we'll do just three things. We always look forward to inform, to share, and educate. Today, Frockel Show is highlighting some of the recommendations that the secondary school teachers, the ones which are being now called senior schools, head teachers, when they went for the 48th conference in Mombasa, they agreed to look out on some issues. One of them was the implementation of the new curriculum. I think we are now in agreement that there is no turning back. Grade 9 is with us, and grade 10 is waiting for students who will be placed. We have a system whereby we are transitioning from NEMIS to KEMIS. There has been some issues to do with that, because at one point we get to hear that now we have KEMIS. At another point you hear it is NEMIS which is continuing up to some time. KEMIS will be launched on 1st of July, and then piloting is done on 15th of July. And all these things, we are supposed to consume them and know exactly how the grade 10 students will be placed. In connection with the conference recommendations, Frockel Show was able to follow through and do some content analysis, and some of the issues that the senior school head teachers raised were to do with stagnation in one job group for some time, and then there was a request that we reduce the promotion period from 3 years to probably 2 years, which is a good thing. And the other issue was that some head teachers were made to act or to manage schools on acting capacity for some years, and only to be surprised that a new head comes, and that seemed to demotivate them. And this issue was to be looked at and making sure that the teachers who have acted are confirmed finally as the substantive senior school head teachers. The other thing which senior school head teachers were taken through is the audit. And this is where Frockel Show wants to emphasize, because if there is anything that will give a head teacher nightmares, is when you realize that auditors have to come and check a few things about the way you are spending resources for public institutions. We have always been used to see a situation whereby we have the audit of finance. That is the most common audit that is done in institutions. But during the conference, senior school editor teachers, you are taken through another type of audit, which we are calling information systems audit. Many of us have not been used to this, because this is basically to do with when the institution is using a certain system, maybe a financial system or any other system that is managing students' data and resources. Why I want to emphasize on this is because what we are getting on news now is that students' data has got lost, or it has been lost from NEMIS, and the allegations are that some of this data got lost from cybers. I would wish to alert the teachers that moving forward, the government has emphasized that you have to procure through an information system, e-procurement. In addition to that, you are also registering all the students and placing the students through a system. And through those systems, there has been allegations that money has got lost. And you have read that on papers. And as I present these, I'll be taking you through some of these news that is now moving across, that a lot of money in form of capitation has got lost through the system. As a school ed teacher, you are always given some credentials, either to place students, or when it comes to finances, how you get those credentials to access the system so that you can be able to do a number of things, more specifically to do with placement of learners. We need to ask ourselves a very simple question. What would make it interesting to anyone remove students' data or reduce the population of students from a certain school during capitation? And your guess is as good as mine that this data is associated with money. If money, which is calculated in terms of the number of students who are in the institution, is given, if a school has, for example, 400 students, someone does a simple calculation and realizes that if you reduce 100 students, then you can account only for 300 students. At times, we could be having collusion between the board of management and some rogue officers, because even in the Ministry of Education, not everybody is clean. We still have some people losing their jobs because of corruption and, of course, because of theft-related cases. And it is for this reason we are saying that it is important as a school head, you retain those credentials and do not delegate that to either your secretary or other officers in the institution. The reason being, the moment you give those credentials to anybody, whoever is monitoring the system from the headquarters does not see others. He only sees that so and so, whose email is this, has logged into the system, he has done one thing and has maybe deleted this or has maybe changed this and so on. So even if you are in a cyber and you have given your credentials, what is reflecting on the other side is your details. And this is at times what we call identity theft, because these people who are using this, they will use your credentials, they will do all monkey business, and still you are the one held accountable. We want to safeguard our profession, the teaching profession, which is very noble. And for that reason, you need to just go beyond understanding computer packages. That is not enough. You need also to read generally about information security. Not even going into details, but some of the issues are surrounding information system security. Because this is what will make us safeguard our institutions against corruption. The other thing which has come into the limelight of KESSHA is the interference of some politicians with running of institutions. The recent case being that where a politician parades all the teachers in front of parents and their children, and starts abusing them one by one, shouting at them to a point of almost slapping them. I would wish to confirm to the teachers that being teachers, you have taken everybody through a class, including the politician. And the politicians know very well they are lawmakers. There is no law which says that a politician will discipline a teacher in the open, in front of parents and their learners. That is unfortunate, and your unions must stand strongly and condemn that. And if it comes to apologizing, if the politician has done that in front of parents and their children, you can't just go and decide to apologize away from them, because it's only a few who have known that you have apologized, but the damage is already caused. At times, I am not very sure why some parties feel that the profession which they felt was not good enough, and many opted not to become teachers. Yet, when the teachers are given their role, they now want to micromanage it from wherever they are, either through phones, through meetings, through workshops, and so on. We need to make sure that the teacher is left to perform his role the way it should be. I have also witnessed another case just through the media where a politician chooses to coach drama in a school. And according to the laws which are governing our institutions, they are very clear that all curricular activities belong to the teacher. And even drama, music, athletics, they are now co-curricular activities, meaning they are part of the curriculum. And so, someone from out there cannot just purport to come in and impose instructions of going ahead to coach drama. It was very unfortunate because when the incident occurred, a lot of noise was made, but all the teachers were silent because they would not even utter a word because of the law which is governing them. But the politicians made all the noise to get sympathy. The agenda of drama was not clear, and some damage was done to the students because you are just filming students who are very young out there in the public. Some of them had even not gone to Nairobi. It was their first time. But I was happy to see that when they went back to the institution, some counseling was administered by the church and the other people who are in counseling departments. That was very commendable. The other issue which I want to briefly mention is about school capitation. It has always been a problem about school capitation, whereby the government says that you should not charge these students this amount because government will provide. But then you find that a long duration has elapsed without this money being released. And the consequences are very severe, and especially to the school managers. You can imagine you are left to handle a school with so many students with money which is only a promise. So I call upon all the education stakeholders to look at this. This is a source of stress to education managers and even the teachers. It is also a source of stress to the students because they may not be taken care of the way it was supposed to be. And this can easily lead to even depression of teachers. Some of the mental illnesses we are witnessing in some institutions are to do with finances. So, KESSHA would wish to request all the stakeholders, including the government, to make sure that once you promise that you release some capitation, let it be done in good time so that these teachers can be able to manage the institutions. The problem of delaying capitation means that these teachers will go to suppliers, they will get goods and services on credit, and because of taking some time, some are even taken to court. And then from there, you find that even the amount which is required is almost double what was to be given. We can avoid this by having a simple discussion among the stakeholders. The issue of examination fee was also cleared. that moving forward, it may not be automatic for the government to cater for examination fee for all students in public schools. And this means now, moving forward, some of these responsibilities or financial responsibilities will be shouldered by the parents. If it is communicated in good time, then of course the parents will have time to organize themselves. Let us all work for our country, Kenya. Let us not have blame game, because blame game is not taking us anywhere. So, with Flokel Show, I wish to stop at that and say that moving forward, I request all the educationists to keep on following what we are posting on our YouTube channel, because we shall now move on very keenly to make sure that as we transit from grade 9 to grade 10, things are becoming clear, things are becoming easier, and people understand exactly what they are supposed to do. A bit of what has not yet been fully discussed, we shall do that in our next video. Thank you so much for listening to Flokel Show. We'll keep you updated. And anytime you require any services, any information, we are available. Comment, call us, or email us, and we shall do that accordingly. Thank you so much.